reckon this car's about to fist me. Here we go. Oh, come on, permanent full drive. Oh, it sounds so good.
Oh my.
Oh. Oh!
What the f? This thing is like 3 tons.
She's a fatty, but she's a fast fatty. It is unbelievably average.
Oh yeah.
Took him over 10 years, a decade,
We've been waiting a long time.
to grow the shish kebabs and update the interior of the Nissan Patrol. This thing's been on sale for like 15 years, and in 2024, that is when I can finally go out and say 100% go out and buy a Nissan Patrol. Of course, before I used to say, yeah, Nissan Patrol's pretty good, but you're probably gonna wanna spend the $8,000 or so to rip out the dashboard and put in something slightly better to match what they've been getting in left-hand drive markets for years.
Well, guess what?
Guess what?
Nissan have gone out and done just that.
So they've actually partnered with a Melbourne-based, I guess, fitter, supplier, whatever you want to call them, to make some pretty significant changes to the interior specifically of the Nissan Patrol. So today we're here with the TIL. It is technically the top spec. There is a Prem Car Warrior, which sits above that. I've reviewed that. If you want to learn more about that, I'll link it down below. But here is the TIL, I guess kind of like the luxury touring spec. Today, we're going to take you for a full review of the 2024 Nissan Patrol that's been updated. Finally.
It's a good day.
Unreal. We're gonna take you for an exterior tour, then we're gonna check out its practicality, talk about all of the interior changes, because there are a few. Then we're going to launch this thing, see just how quick it is, because I feel like it's quicker than I remember.
Frankly, it shocked me.
Yeah, it shocked Jacob. This is his first time sitting in a Nissan Patrol. Every time I've reviewed it, this is like the 4th review I've done now.
I'll be honest, bro.
He's not been here.
I was scared.
Then we're going to give this thing lots of sauce, see how does it drive, and we're going to answer the question in our final thoughts. Is this worth buying now, considering that the next generation Y63 Patrol will be coming out to Australia sometime in about 2 years?
Okay, so sorry for the interruption. Naturally, as I'm editing this video, Nissan have just released the new Y63 Patrol, but don't fret, we're not getting that until 2027. So yeah, that's going to be a while away. If you want to learn more about the Y63 Patrol, I'll link that video in the description below. So yes, this is what the 2025 Nissan Patrol is going to be for Australia. Right-hand drive markets, we ain't getting that new Nissan Patrol for a long time. So still relevant, I guess. Back to the video.
Alrighty, Daddy Jacob, let's talk about price, because that's gone up.
It has.
$3,000 for every single grade. That means that this one here, it is now $100,600 before on-road costs. You can get into the lower spec TI, and that will cost you $87,900, and you still get, well, you get a lot. If you want to learn more about exactly what you get, head to CarSauce.com. We have a full written review out on this. Now, let's talk about the way it looks, man.
Honestly, man, I think it's aged pretty well.
It really has. Now, like I said, this thing's been on sale for like almost 15 years or around then, but they've kept it up to date, especially on the outside. Too bad the interior took forever, but you get these cool daytime running lights. That's also your turn signals. Very bright LEDs. I do like this grille as well. It's just not too big, you know?
Yeah, like some other cars we've seen.
There are some massive grills out there now. The new Nissan badge that was updated quite recently, actually. And then down the bottom, you have a big bumper with a radar. This thing does get adaptive cruise control, but that's pretty much where the safety of this thing ends.
Which some will like.
At least the active safety. Let's check out the side. Alrighty, let's talk about the side of this thing. So we have these pretty cool 18-inch wheels. Some say that is the perfect size, especially if you want to put some off-roading wheels on them, but you don't want your car to look silly. This probably would look a bit silly with much smaller wheels, but you do get these Bridgestone Jeweler all-terrain tires, which from factory is actually pretty damn good.
Decent, but they're a bit outdated now, aren't they?
Oh, there is the all-terrain.
Bridgestone Jeweler all-terrain 002s.
Jacob went to the launch of that. You have a V8 Badger there, Patrol as well. And that is actually some functional exhausting from the engine bay because it gets quite hot under there. You don't get a 360 camera, and I swear, Jacob, that used to get a 360 camera.
I thought so too. Yeah.
Editor, let us know. Let us know if we're wrong. Here you have keyless entry and go, which is always good to see. You do get these side steps that it's good, man. My foot fits in there really quite well.
And there's a substantial amount of space for your feet, actually.
100%. Well done, Nissan. You did a good job there. You've also got very tinted privacy glass, and you can see that this window here is massive, which is awesome for the third row. You just get quite a lot of visibility. You've also got roof rails up there. Good luck reaching that. Like, I'm 5'11" and I'm dwarfed by this
You're a
car.
short king, bro.
Clearly, next to this thing, I'm tiny. Otherwise, it's a big, fat, 7-seat SUV off-road machine. Let's talk about the bum.
Are you going to just gloss over all the bloody chrome everywhere?
No, I won't. So you get these chrome door handles here. You've also got chrome going around. It's part of the TIL.
Why'd you take your jacket off?
Exuberance. I don't know what that means. Anyway, let's talk about the bum. Alrighty, Daddy Jacob, let's talk about the bum on this thing. So, very, very boxy. I really like the way it looks. You get these fully LED lights back here. It's got sequential indicators. Oh, that's bougie, isn't it?
Very luxe.
Get the new Nissan badge there, Patrol, proudly spelt out on the back. You've also got a very normal bumper. You've got a full-size spare wheel under there, and you have a V8 exhaust. But here's the interesting thing, and you pointed this out to me, Jacob. The exhaust, it doesn't sound that great.
It sounds like someone blowing through a straw.
It's like, but it's the engine itself which sounds magnificent. So take a listen to both and let us know what you guys think after in the comment section. Alrighty, Daddy Jacob, the engine. Talk about boot space.
I think it was the engine
In
too.
fact, we could probably talk about the engine while this power tailgate opens, because it literally takes
about 3 minutes.
Yeah, it's unreal how slow that is. But once you're up there, you'll see a very high load floor, but you actually get a huge amount of room, at least on paper. 467 litres of boot space. It must be like from here all the way up to the roof, because
I think it's about a metre above the roof,
yeah,
frankly.
there's no way that it's that much. I mean, it's really good for a 3-row SUV, don't get me wrong. That's a lot of space though. Full perspective, that's actually more than what you'd find in a Hyundai Tucson, and here's the boot space in that. So yeah.
Not all 450 litres are equal.
Clearly not. Under here, you'll find a little bit of floor storage. I'm sure they used every milliliter under there to get that figure. You've also got a 12-volt socky wacky over there. Now, it's really easy to drop the third row, and when you do that, you get like 1,400 litres of boot space, but take that with a grain of salt. It's very good, like I said, but I don't know if it's that good. And then you could drop all 3 rows, and then you get something like 3,000 plus litres.
I thought it was
boot
like
space.
7,500.
According to them, it would be. But it is still very, very good, like a very usable amount of space.
As you'd expect.
Let's talk about the interior.
Let's do it.
Alrighty, Daddy Jacob. First of all,
Oh, that passes the top test.
that was so strong, that force, that it knocked me out. Yeah, the build quality in here has not changed over, like, I was gonna say decades, and it almost has been. Since this thing has been in production, it is really good. Soft touch materials, absolutely everywhere. It feels super duper solid.
Everything feels substantial in here, you know?
100%. And that's why this thing is so popular, especially in like the Middle East, where reliability is their main concern, and there's some pretty harsh conditions over there. Yeah, that's exactly what you get. You just get a really solid interior, and that's why they stuck, apparently, with the terrible interior before.
What, because of the Middle East? What are you trying to say?
There are some remnants, right, of this old period. We have the faux wood grain across the interior. Unreal. I feel like I've stepped into a time capsule. It adorns this center console area. It's pretty hilarious.
Can I be honest, man? I love it.
Yeah, you love it because you love it. The screen here, though, that is the piece à la résistance dense. It is unbelievably average. You know what I mean?
Look, it's definitely better.
Definitely better than before. And I say average in a fantastic way. So here it is, a 10.1-inch display installed by a Melbourne company, and it works well. You get wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto. You also get some pretty cool features like inbuilt navigation and HEMA maps. You can see off-road trails, you can see adventure trails that other people have done. It's just a cool system. The one thing I will say, there's a bit of a downgrade in this interior, and that is that they've changed from a Bose sound system to a 6-speaker Infinity sound system.
I don't know who was in charge of that. Maybe it was this Melbourne-based company.
Yeah, whoever did that, you messed up. I think. It's genuinely a bad sound system. I've changed the EQ settings. This is the best I was able to come up with to make it sound at least a little bit good, but it doesn't sound just flat, it just sounds extremely dull.
100% agree.
Gone is the screen up here. Instead, you get this quite large cubby area. Jacob, what did you say?
I think you can fit about 2 Rubik's Cubes in there.
Who says that, you know?
I don't know, that's my measurement. That's my unit of measurement.
2 Rubik's Cubes in there. You also get a new air conditioning control stack here, which is fine. It works really well, easy to use, so yeah, no complaints. You also get a couple of other big upgrades. So here you get a mirror. Actually, I don't know if this is a huge upgrade. I think it's good that it's got it. So if you do use up all that 479 litres of boot space, well, at least you can actually see past it.
Maybe that's how they're allowed to quote up to the roof.
Yeah, maybe. But it's actually quite low resolution, so I found myself preferring the non-digital mirror, which
100%.
is not really something I've ever done in any other car with that system. You've got a USB-A port and USB-C port. That's new. Also under here, you no longer have just another storage area. You get a wireless phone charger, which works fine.
It works pretty well.
15 watt, it just does the job okay, but yeah, try not to drop anything in there.
You will never get it again.
I don't think, no, seriously, I can't even put my hand to the bottom. No. So yeah, good luck doing that. But it works fine. And so it's just this area here that makes this so much better. It means you don't have to rip this out yourself or pay someone a lot of money to do so. It just comes here, and yes, it's $3,000 more, but it's still cheaper than if you had to do it yourself and retrofit it. Good
Very
to
nice.
see.
And it's well integrated too. So.
It's well integrated and it just works well. And you get over-the-air updates as part of this display, so very cool. Everything else is the same, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Open up under this faux wood, get a couple of cup holders, a little cup holder thing there, some storage areas, and a 12-volt socky wacky. You've also got pretty massive glove box. That's good to see. This center armrest is massive, really well padded. Open it up in the TIL spec. You do get a fridge. And
love that.
You can open it from the back as well, just in case your little kiddlywinks want a drink or something. I don't know, is that what you call your kids these days? Here you have a sunroof. It's very small, but hey, at least you get one. The steering wheel is the same old steering wheel. And when I say old, I mean old. Like this has been around for a long time. The button placement is very old school, but you know what? It actually just works fine. Up in front of you, you get your analog gauges. Again, it's just kind of cool.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like a breath of fresh air, you know?
I do wish it had like a speed readout, but it's not the end of the world. As long as you can read your gauges, you're good. And I hope you can. Then you have these leather seats, man. They're like a lounge.
Bro, everything in this interior is just plush.
Oh, it
feels
so
good.
Nice to sit on. Really good support. You can also adjust them in so many different ways. You've got lumbar support adjustment as well. They're just really, really good seats. And the seats, by the way, they're heated and cooled, so that's always good to see. This is a bit of a reminder of the past. You have your shifter here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, physical shifter. You just don't see that anymore.
No, I love it.
Weird to say, but you just don't. And you have your full drive controls here. So you have your drive modes, on-road, rock, snow, and sand. That just changes the four-wheel drive system, the traction control system to essentially help you get through those different terrains. You have your full drive selector here, auto, 4 high and 4 low. You've got a locking rear diff. You've also got a hill descent control here as well. And of course your traction control if you...
Which you should always turn off if you go on the beach, as I learned.
God, you are an off-road king.
Yeah, you can ask me for tips from now on.
Oh, I love this as well. The scrunched leather here on the doors.
Talking about a lounge.
Yeah, unreal. Seriously, man, I love this interior.
It's really, really nice.
And now that you got this, I'm happy, I'm content. It's all about the back seats.
Let's do it.
Alrighty, guys. Back seats.
Bro, you look pretty high up.
I feel like a man. So this is stadium style seating. So these back seats are sitting higher than these front seats. It means I can see over a lot of you, especially because there's such a wide gap here. It's easy to see. And you've got great visibility all around, like I said. Heaps of legroom at 5'11". Toe room as well is fantastic. Headroom as well is fantastic. Very, very good. These seats,
So nice.
I love them. Pull down this center armrest, nice and soft with a couple of cup holders.
That was a bit loud.
That hurt my ears. Don't do that. You have a couple of USB-A ports here in the back, so your kiddlywinks don't get...
That's a new one, bro.
That's a new one. They don't get upset. Pretty sure I heard that from the Teletubbies when I was... You have this slider here, which I'm still trying to figure out what the hell this controls. I think it's the fan speed, but it doesn't need to do anything. I don't know if it's the cooler on the inside, because then there's a button for the cooler, but it doesn't actually turn on or off the cooler. Confused. You get these matte pockets here as well, and quality does not take a hit. You get the same scrunched leather in the back.
Can I just say real
Please.
quick, as foreshadowing for the next section?
Yeah.
I do wish the second row was actually a little bit more forward.
Well, it's probably going to come in the Y63, which has been in development for the last 15 years, apparently, because yes, you can recline these seats quite a lot, get a lot of space, but if you do so, you might kill the third row passengers. So getting into the third row is actually extremely easy. The seats fold forward. It's actually super duper easy. But once you do get back there, like I said, I'm not really that tall, 5'11". I'm very average height. And if you close the seats on my leg, sure, I can just fit, but it is not comfortable. I cannot move my feet, but my headroom is fine. So
Yeah,
kids
and
back there.
and you get air vents.
And you get air vents. You also get a couple of cup holders back there, which is good to see. Kids back there, they're gonna be totally happy, right? But adults, I don't think so, unless you're a smaller adult. Now, yes, this thing has gone up in price by $3,000, but if you want the absolute best price on your next Nissan Patrol or any other car with cars that are actually in stock, we have a dedicated team who are there to get you the best deals on your next new car. All you have to do is head to CarSauce.com/buy. We have thousands of dealers who we make literally fight each other to get you the absolute best price on your next car. Best of all, it is a totally free service for you because we charge the dealers a fixed fee, and that means that we will go in the hardest to get you the absolute best price on your next car. So if that sounds good to you, head to CarSauce.com/buy. Jacob,
let's bloody launch it.
Let's launch it. Alrighty, friend.
Bro, I can't wait for this.
It's time to hear this Sex Pistol roar.
Scream.
You're gonna fist me. And I reckon this car's about to fist me. Here we go. Oh, come on,
Jesus.
permanent full drive. Oh, sounds so good.
Oh my.
Oh. Oh!
Sub 7?
That's pretty good. 0 to 100 in 6.83 seconds.
Bro, what the f? This thing is like 3 tons.
She's a fatty, but she's a fast fatty. All right, let's try this thing normally.
Okay.
Alrighty, friend. Now,
Friendo.
I want you to just shut the f up.
You too, all right?
We're both gonna shut up
And we're gonna listen to the
and
symphony.
we're gonna listen. You're gonna hold my hand while we do this.
Jesus! I love the sound of that V8, bro. That 5.6 litre V8.
I'm gonna yeet this car into oncoming traffic. I love it that much. Okay, let's talk about this engine, because this engine will not be here in
long?
probably 2 years' time. That's what our insiders, sources have told us for daily news on CarSauce.com, where we reported about the new Y63 Patrol,
Yes.
which is coming with that twin-turbo 6-cylinder. We're losing this engine,
Bro.
and that means we lose this.
I'm so sad. I'm so sad because this is such a good engine. It's so goddamn smooth and torquey and fast.
All right, tell me about it. Tell me about this engine.
298 kilowatts of power.
Oh,
560 newton meters of torque
and it's like,
for days.
you know, we're not just talking about any engine, right? This is a f***ing V8.
This is God's given number of cylinders.
Now, I have always wanted to review this car with you. Every time I've had this car,
I've just been...
you have been somewhere else,
MIA.
right? But now that you work for me full time, I've shackled you.
I'm literally trapped here.
You're trapped.
It's not, you know, at my will. Oh, God.
Now, let's talk about the negatives, because it has some. Fuel economy, almost 15 litres per 100 kilometres.
Look, it's a V8. It's a
V8.
5.6 litre V8.
So
What can you expect?
14.7, not the best. The steering, it's just so light. It's so light. It's almost like
It's almost too light.
it's
yeah.
very
It's like
light.
you want light steering on a big car like this, but you don't want it like that.
You lose the feel when you're out here on like a country road. And the suspension now, it's really, really comfortable and I quite like it. It's also got a really unique setup. It's an older setup now, but I think it's aged really well. It's the HBMC, or hydraulic body motion control. Essentially, it has hydraulics that passively move around as you corner, and it stiffens up the suspension, kind of like passive adaptive dampers. And that means that when you do corner, there is definitely body roll.
But it's not as bad as it would have otherwise been.
Yeah, correct. And it's not going to be much better in this car's competitors, like the Toyota Land Cruiser 300 series, which is pretty much its only competitor.
Which is like, you know, 50 grand more. Oh, God.
Oh, okay, we're just one more shut up. I'm going to put the car into manual mode.
Oh, manual. Dropped a few gears.
Oh, the fact that it's naturally aspirated builds power right at the top of the rev range.
Yes.
It just sounds so good.
And you know what, bro? I'm glad we get to enjoy this together.
Why are you so far away from me?
I have to like fully
Yeah.
outstretch my arm.
You are in another postcode from me. Oh, hang on, sorry.
Oh, let you just reach into your fridge, which is making a lot of noise.
Isn't this very Australian? Cordial?
Bro, you sure that's cordial?
Yeah, that or it's Hulk piss.
And I will not be bullied by that.
Oh yeah, there is definitely a lot of that, the old body roll, but it's like a 2.5 ton body on frame
Listen,
SUV.
mate, you're either going to be driving this on the freeway or you're going to be driving it over rocks,
All
okay?
right, bro. Let's see how this permanent four-wheel drive system goes up Saucy Corner. You're gonna tickle my little pickle.
And I'm permanently aroused.
It just was eating through the brakes. The brakes could not hold this engine.
I found that actually.
Oh.
Holy crap.
Oh God. All right, hairpin numero uno.
Okay.
Traction cut out a little bit
Yeah,
there.
I can feel that.
You really notice the independent suspension all around though. It is just super comfortable. Oh, cut out there. Woo. It just sounds so epic. It's like I'm driving a Mustang on stilts.
That's so true.
And it's like reliable, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
it's a Japanese naturally aspirated V8. They've been using it forever. And
Oh,
it just
man.
one more time. Man,
Very cool.
You just can't beat it. I just can't get over it. It's delicious.
And you know what? And you know what? Let's be honest. Like the twin turbo V6 is probably going to be better.
Yeah.
But it's just not going to have that same character, that same feeling, that same like sound,
the same sex when you put your
sex appeal. He's genuinely like
it's a roar.
incredible.
Man, I can't get over it. Okay, let's talk about some more negatives.
Yes.
No, there's no, maybe it's not a negative. There's no lane centering. There's adaptive cruise control. Pretty sure it cuts off under like, I don't remember what it is.
It doesn't work that well in bumper to bumper, but you know, at least you get it.
At least you get it. Good for touring. And a lot of people don't like the new stuff, which can really be very annoying, especially like the eye monitoring, stuff like that. It's almost gone too far.
You get the bare essentials, you get the lane departure warning, you get all the stuff that matters, but yeah, not the annoying stuff. Honestly, man, it's solved a lot of the problems of the previous year's Patrol. I like it.
Go for it, guys. It's awesome. All right, let's get into our final thoughts.
Let's do it.
All right, Daddy. All right, Daddy Jacob.
Alrighty, mate. Look, mate, I think the bloody Nissan Patrol, it's sick.
It is. The V8, monstrous. The way it drives is pretty good, especially when you consider what it is, which is a large family grand touring off-roader. It just does so much right. If you want to learn more about this thing, off-roading, go watch my Nissan Patrol Warrior review. But it's on-road dynamics. The new interior make this thing just like you said, Jacob, earlier to me, off the camera. It's the last of its kind.
And you know what? It's a dying breed, so go out and get yourself one, honestly.
Yeah. And yes, this thing has gone up in price, but if you want the best price on one of these, check out carsauce.com/buy. My team will get you the best prices with cars that are actually in stock. And again, totally free for you, so you'd be nuts not to. Ciao for now.
Bye-bye.